Well, I'd like to welcome you to Teaching Leadership's 878 Assessment for Effective Teaching. I'm Kent Runyon, the instructor of the course for this semester. And what I'd like to do in this very short video is to give you an overview of the course and explain how different assignments will be used for you to complete. Always starting any class when I was in school, I wanted to know 6 things. How do I navigate the learning management system? What are you going to be doing in class, and how do I complete these assignments? Always wanted to know who was in class with me, and especially who the teacher was as a person. And then basically, how do you get an A in the course? So let me answer these questions for you very quickly. Well, first of all, the first question, how do you navigate Canvas? Probably most of you have had a course on Canvas before, but the very first place you start is the home page. Here, the home page will welcome you to the course. There'll be a doodly video which will kind of overview some of the basic things, and then you'll find a place where we'll discuss the structure of the course, how you order your text, and a little bit about me. So the home page is quite lengthy, but you can spend some time looking it over, and it kind of gives you a basic start for what the class is all about. On the top of the home page, you're always going to find the announcements as I make them each week. These are going to keep you updated on what to do for the next week and how you did on the past week. And I'll always try to include a rather humorous video or cartoon to illustrate the focus of that previous or future week. And if you don't like the humorous stuff, you can just skip those because, of course, those are not mandatory. The syllabus page follows the home page, and there, again, you'll find a little doodly video that explains the syllabus. And below that, you will find the syllabus itself. There you can download the syllabus, or you can just scan it right there on the page. And then below the syllabus, you'll find all of Pitt State's policies and their support apparatus that you can access to help you if you have trouble in the course. Even below the support services, you'll find my contact information, and then a list of all of the assignments, their due dates, and typically it will tell you once you completed it how you did on it. So the syllabus page again is quite long, but it gives you quite a lot of information. I'm very big on the course objectives. Objectives are found in the syllabus, and then you're going to find all of the objectives for each of the modules in the things to do page in each of the modules. So particular attention to those because I'll use those in the quizzes and also in the assignments so we can document your performance. The modules then are the third listing. You'll notice that there is a module for each week. They're listed there, and when you open each, all the materials for that week will be there for you. Everything is in there that you need. All the written resources, the video resources, and if you have an assignment, the drop boxes, or if you have a quiz, the quiz there at the end. Then each of these modules, the very first thing I want you to look at are the things to do page, and there you'll find the objectives for the week and exactly a list of what to do. And below there you'll find sort of a summary illustration that kind of puts together the important things that you'll be looking at for that week. As far as the quizzes go for each of the 11 chapters that you're going to look at, there will always be 20 questions. They're multiple choice and true and false. They're there to check for the understanding of the reading material. I'll give you feedback on how the class did at the next announcement. If more than a third of the people miss a question, we just won't count it. But you'll have 11 quizzes, of which we'll take the best 10 quizzes for evaluation and grading. You're going to have 4 activities about every other week. You'll have a week to participate in 2 things, an activity which will sort of see and apply what you read in the past couple of chapters of the text. And then also you'll have a discussion page where you'll be given 4 to 5 questions. You'll respond to only one of them. And they're kind of interesting types of questions or prompts. And so we'll have a wide diversity of responses, but also ask you to respond once you make your post to 5 other posts. In fact, you won't be able to see other people's posts until you make your major post. The other assignment that you'll be asked to do is a final project. You're going to select from 5 of these. There will be others that may be added, but it will hopefully appeal to some of you creative types and then some of you more traditional types. You'll be asked to, if you want to construct a summative test that you actually will use in your courses. Or you'll be asked, if you like professional development, to take a book out of the reading list in the syllabus and look it over, scan it, read it, and then do a book review on that assessment book. Or third, you'll be asked to do several infographics on some unread text chapters. If you don't like to be creative visually, you could do a blog post on some of the unread text chapters. Or again, we're going to give you instructions on how to do those things. Or you could do an instructional video where you show how you've transferred your assessments from a face-to-face classroom to online learning. So there'll be some options for you to do your projects. All of these projects, all of your discussion boards, all of the activities, there'll be a rubric attached to it, which I'll expect for you to look at before you submit, so that you can meet the objectives of the rubric, and that's how I'll evaluate your project or activity. I'll also write a lengthy narrative about what I saw and giving you strengths and weaknesses and that some positive, hopefully, feedback on what you did. The text is called Educational Assessment Students. It was written last year or updated last year. It's in the 8th edition. It's written by Susan Burkhart and Anthony Nickto. I like it because it's pretty cheap. It went up $10, but you can buy the e-text through Pearson for $39, or you can do the print copy for $63. You will not buy the MyLab section of it, so I always suggest that you do the e-text. Those instructions are found on the home page, where to find it and how to get it. If you still want to go through the bookstore for the print copy, that's great, or even find one on Amazon. Any of those ways are possible for you. There, again, as we talked about, there are 11 chapters that we're going to cover. They're kind of divided into 5 areas. First, we're going to look at the overall picture of assessment, how we test to the goals and to the objectives of the units. We're going to look at types of assessments, from diagnostic to formative to summative assessments, and how you provide formative feedback to kids, what some of the different types and options are. Then we're going to look at constructing objective tests, those sorts of tests that use fill in the blank, true and false, multiple choice. How exactly do you write effective types of questions? We'll also look at subjective tests, how you assess higher order thinking skills, problem solving, critical thinking types of instruction. We'll look at essay assessments. How do you evaluate a kid's essay from prompts, and then finally performance and portfolio assessments, how you use rubrics and narratives to evaluate those. And then we're in with standardized testing and look at the different standardized both norm reference and criteria reference tests that are given to our kids in the American public school, and then some statistical analysis so that she kind of knows some of the terms that are used in interpreting norm reference scores. So that's your sort of your overview of your course. The third question asks, how do I know who's in this class with me? Well, that's going to be answered in the very first assignment. You're going to introduce yourself, and then you're going to read others and comment to them. And so we'll get to know each other through the very first assignment. You can also there's a list of the people in your class on the left-hand margin of your home page where you can email or anybody that you need to for any of the assignments. Fourth question is, who's this teacher as a person, as an instructor? Well, you're going to see in the very first week rather humorous video of me, the life and times of Kent Runyon. It's kind of interesting to watch. So, and then I've included some other things about what I've done, videos and that you might want to watch. But that's up to you, just so we can start to humanize who I am and where I've come from. So give it a look-see. And then lastly, how do you get an A? Well, again, you're going to introduce yourself. That's worth a certain amount of points. You're going to take a course introduction quiz after you read the syllabus and watch this video. And that's easy to do, but I want to make sure we start on the same page. Again, you have 10 out of 11 quizzes that were count. Your lowest score is dropped. You're going to do 4 modular activities, 4 discussion boards, and then that final project. And then you're going to tell me how I did and what we should include or take out of this course. So those are your assignments. You got to kind of work hard to not do well because you'll always have a chance to redo it other than the quizzes if you do poorly on the activities discussion boards or the final project. A couple of pieces of advice if life happens. So if you're going to be late in submitting an assignment, especially as we are teaching during the semester, all you have to do is email me, kind of come up with an original excuse, and I'm pretty lenient towards letting you turn it in late. And then also, my advice to you is to set enough time aside for you to complete these different activities, because the text, it doesn't take too long to read, but there's sometimes some complex material in there that terminology you might not be aware of. So you need to spend some time with that to be able to do well on the quizzes. A lot of educational jargon sometimes gets in the way, and I want you to know the jargon so that you act and can talk like a professional. So get involved in the class. We take attendance by how you submit your assignments. If you're all on time, Canvas is really neat. It tracks exactly how long you watch a video or what you read. It's amazing what it can tell you if you ask Canvas about what you're doing. So spend some time with your material, and we won't have any problem. Because I enjoy what I do. I have a lot of fun. Sometimes my humor falls on deaf ears, but I'll try as much as I can to add some spark into life and to the class. But I tend to will have fun exploring effective teaching and assessment, and I hope you do too. So enjoy the class.